Hi everybody, I'm Megan Twentyman, the brand manager here at Soft Solutions for our Unified Communications, and I'm really excited to be bringing this webinar to you today, which is introducing the range of Fanvil phones to our UC community. Some are familiar, some not so much. So on the line with me today, I've got Kiran Kumar, who is our technical specialist here at Soft Solutions.
Hello everyone, it's great joining you today for the webinar.
Awesome, thanks Kiran. And I've also got Yoyo Wu, who is the sales manager from Fanvil, joining us today.
Hi everyone.
Awesome, we're really excited to have Yoyo on with us today. So we will try and stick to our bite-size webinar event size. We've got quite a bit of information, but it's very high level, and we can drill into that a little bit further. So what's on the agenda today? We're going to talk about who is Fanvil, and Yoyo is going to give us an overview of the organisation. We're going to look at the product innovations and portfolio, talk about the advantages of using SBC or router phones with 3CX in particular, and then we've got some Fanvil promotions, and we will wrap up with a Q&A. So as we go along, feel free to pop any questions that come to mind into there, and we will answer those at the end. As I say, I've got Yoyo and Kiran to help with those questions, so you can throw those at us. So I'm going to hand over to Yoyo, who is going to tell us all about Fanvil and who they are and what their background is, and then I'm going to jump back in shortly to help further. Now, Yoyo's video is unfortunately not working, so you can't see her smiling face, but you'll be able to hear the smile in her voice. So over to you, Yoyo.
Thanks, Megan. I'm so excited to share to make a brief introduction about Fanvil. Hi, Megan, please next.
It should be there now.
Yes. Let me make a brief introduction about Fanvil. Fanvil started as a design house from 2002. After those years developing, we already have office in Shenzhen, Suzhou, and Beijing. We are not just offering the OEM and ODM service to many famous brands in global market. We also have our own brands, Fanvil, and we have built our new brands a few years ago. Is LinkWheel. We are offering the wireless solutions for the LinkWheel brand. Hi, Megan, please.
Yep, it's already ticked over.
After over 20 years developing, we already have more than 1,000 distributors and resellers in global market. And I think we already have over 10 years experience developing New Zealand and Australia markets. We have attended local exhibition, webinars, and road shows. We are not just think highly about a marketing promotion. We also think highly about the technical innovations. Nowadays, 15% of Fanvil employees are R&D engineers, and we also spend more than $1.1 million to build our own acoustic laboratory. With those investments, make sure we can build our own professional manufacturing solutions. We have invested factories in 2 in China, 1 in Vietnam. So for special market, special project, we also can offer the made in Vietnam products. Those investments also make sure that we can offering professional technical support and training systems. We have employees in global, so we can offering 24 hours in time supporting. But our first support is to Soft Solutions, who work to find a resolution and escalate as needed as to the Fanvil teams. If you are interested to know more about Fanvil, just feel free to attend Fanvil Academy, then you can get Fanvil certifications. That's the brief introduction about Fanvil, and I'm hand over the mic to Megan.
Awesome. Thanks, Yo-Yo. We really appreciate you being on here. And if any questions come in at the end, we'll get you to help us answer those. So just working our way through this presentation, we're going to have a look at the overview of the Fanvil products. So there's kind of three distinct categories: the SIP phones, the security products, and then the Linkville wireless products that we were talking about. And we've tested those wireless solutions in our office, and we'll talk about that as we get through the slides as well. So as you can see, Fanvil have quite an extensive range of IP phones. We find the new V series has been really popular with people. So they look really modern, they look really funky, and they've got great features for a great price point as well. The other thing is the XU range. Now, this is a range that a lot of people are familiar with in terms of Fanvil. These are great units. They have the extra LCD screens, perfect for small, medium enterprises to be able to see who's on the phone, who's available, those types of things. The other one that's in the range that really stands out in that XU range is the X5UR, the red unit. So you'd be surprised how often we actually get asked for a red emergency phone on a regular basis. It's a sort of, once every couple of weeks we get that kind of query. So we can fulfill that in the Fanvil range. We've also got really popular units in the X range. So the X210 is extremely popular, great for a reception phone, that type of thing. And then also all of the X7 series as well, with those larger displays and etc. We've got the new X300 range coming soon to New Zealand. So those are going to be entry-level solutions. And then the hotel phones. The hotel phones have been very, very popular for a very long time. And there's a few different options to choose from there as well. As most of you will be aware, Fanvil have partnered very closely with 3CX to have a huge number of their phones available as router phones or SBC on board the firmware options. So you do need the V2 of each model. So for example, if you've got an X6U and it's V1, the firmware is not going to upgrade it to a router phone, but if it's a V2, it will upgrade it to a router phone. So V2s have been in the New Zealand market for quite some time now, and you will have those out with customers in some cases, or if you're purchasing new, it will be V2 models that we are supplying. There was also a recent firmware update on the 8th of August from 3CX. Now remember that the firmware is available off the 3CX website for these router phone solutions. The next part of the range is around the security. So you've got audio and video intercoms, you've got video door options, you've got indoor stations, ceiling speakers. It's a really, really broad range. So you're going from the IP54 and above rated units for outdoors to the indoor units, and it gives you lots of options within organisations for entry to a facility. So it became obviously even more crucial during the COVID times. You've got console IP phones as well, so that's got the extra microphone. So think about hospitality, restaurants, those kind of scenarios, anything that you're going to need paging, schools, those types of scenarios. So great units there as well. But wait, there's still more in the range. Fanvil also have some headset models, so wired headset models. They have a great speakerphone, which is fantastic, supports Bluetooth, it's a USB connection, 8 hours of time. Just means you can be a little bit more wireless when you're working remotely, that type of stuff as well. And then it brings us into the Linkville range. So everything from Fanvil that is in the wireless range will be under the Linkville brand. So we have tested out, Karen's actually tested out the W611W portable Wi-Fi phone. And it works really well. We tested that out with our own in-house 3CX system. It was manual provisioning at the moment, but we do know that interop is coming soon. So that will be coming for 3CX partners as well. The thing that blew me away about this particular model of phone is that it's actually IP67 rated. So it's actually the ruggedized version as well. So, you know, it's got great features. It's IP67, so that's your dustproof and waterproof rating. You can drop it from 1.8 meters. It's got all those things, Wi-Fi 6 as well, which is fantastic. That range is about to be expanded with a new W610W coming soon, and we will share the information about that when it becomes available very, very soon. So what are the use case scenarios for Fanvil solutions with or without 3CX? Obviously, for most of our partners, your 3CX partners as well. So it's really a wide range. It's from a small to medium office all the way up to the enterprise with, you know, people needing IP phones, needing portability with portable Wi-Fi, needing to be able to access the facility, being able to let somebody in with the push of a button. Really makes life really simple. You can even, you know, use the portable speakerphone as a very mini conference solution, that type of thing. So, you know, it is a really broad range of products, and it does enable people to think about scenarios that might work for them. Another scenario is kind of that community-based scenario. So think about apartment buildings, hospitals, anywhere that's got lots of floors with an elevator and needs an emergency call, those types of things. There are all sorts of scenarios. So the purpose of these couple of slides is really to get you thinking about your customers and what their needs may be, and if there's something that we can help you with. So we can have a more in-depth conversation about those on a one-on-one basis. Now, Fanvil also features the FDMS, or Fanvil Device Management System. So, you know, it's a great tool for being able to manage all the devices, get real-time information. It's a cloud system, and it means that you can see what's happening. You can make sure things are updated with the latest firmwares, all those types of things. So, you know, we expect all solutions to have a device management system so that you can keep an eye on things really easily for your multiple customers. So now, specifically for our 3CX partners, we're looking at the advantages of using the SBC phone. Now, we've covered this on multiple occasions, but we'll just run through the different types of modes of deployment and then what the advantages of that router phone solution is. So as you'd all be aware, you know, if we go back 5 or 6 years, we weren't really deploying in the cloud. Everything was on-prem, so you had your local LAN solutions. So that was kind of option number one. Then as latency became less of a problem when we got fast internet, we started to move away to the cloud, whether that was overseas cloud, private data cloud here, that type of thing. And 3CX introduced the SBC, or the Session Border Controller, which is the device that sits between your phones on your local network and the cloud solution of 3CX. It encrypts that traffic and keeps it all nice and secure. The kind of older version of getting that to talk to the cloud was Stun. So that was kind of the first way that we used to do it. Now, we know lots of customers love Stun, but Stun has done its time. And I know Nicholas Perez, who's the global trainer, just says, you know, Stun is going away at some point. We don't have a time frame on that, but the more secure way and best option is with an SBC. So, what are the cons of the Stun? So we kind of all know that it's about stability. You can have issues. It used to be kind of the only way that we would get people that were working from home that needed a desk phone to operate and connect to that cloud instance. But we've got new options now. So, you know, I guess we don't really need to go into it too much, apart from the fact that, as I mentioned, you know, quality of service issues, and that was a reason that Stun is, I guess, slowly being retired over time. So the SBC, so the traditional way has been an SBC on-prem, so the SBC needs to be at the site. So, you know, you've got your hardware environment, you've got to be configuring it, those types of things. So that can be a little bit difficult. So 3CX were always kind of thinking ahead of what other options could we give people instead of a standalone SBC. There are still use case scenarios for standalone SBC. So, but for the vast majority of customers, they will be able to look at options with the new SBC on board router phones. So what is the option when you're talking about the router phone and that kind of stuff? So it's the cost savings. You don't need another piece of hardware. You can proxy up to 10 phones off one phone, or you can configure them all as router phones as well. So I guess the biggest gotcha with a router or SBC on board firmware phone is if somebody unplugs the master phone, it'll take everything that's proxied to it offline as well. So, you know, somebody decides on Friday afternoon to move the office around and change desks, that could be problematic. Whereas if everybody's configured as a router phone, that, you know, saves that hassle and that type of thing as well. So there's no right or wrong way around that. It's great for hybrid workers, so those that are working from home but still want the functionality of being able to have a desk phone. That works really well as well. So key advantages are really about your quality of service. So it's around the stability, audio traffic is staying there and saving extra hassle really. So as I mentioned earlier, there was updated firmware on the 8th of August. So do make sure that you stay up to date. So here's kind of, I guess, the overview of what it all looks like. So you've got your 3CX off in the cloud, whether that's hosted by 3CX, whether that's private cloud, whether it's in your own private data center, whether it's overseas data storage. It doesn't really matter. It's in the cloud effectively. It's not on-prem. So, you know, you've got your SBC phone with all your different units connected back up through it, and that allows it to give you that nice, clear, crisp audio that you will need. It's really simple to configure. As you'd be aware, we've been moving from configuration in the management console across to the admin console that sits within the web client, which is part of 3CX's move from management console to the admin console, and that's an ongoing project for 3CX. So the other thing that we have today is some great I guess promotions and information that we can share with you. So NFR units, there's nothing better than being able to use a unit yourself and be able to show it to a customer. So we have got special pricing available for up to 2 units of one particular model per partner. You just need to reach out to me and I'll give you that pricing and we'll arrange that for you. So those units are to be used internally for testing and demonstration purposes. We also have demo units available that we can loan to you for a couple of weeks to test out scenarios. So we actually have pretty much every model of Fanvil phone in our demo pool already. So just reach out to us if you would like to borrow something to do some testing. The second promotion that we have is a purchasing promotion, which will run through till the 31st of October, only via Soft Solutions. So it's kind of buy 9, get 1 free, so you get your 10. So for example, if you buy 9 X6Us, V2, because that's all we have is the V2, you would receive 10, so you're getting 1 for free. You can also do a mixture if you want some X6Us, some X5Us, and X4Us. You can do a mix of that and we'd give you 1 free X4U as part of that bundle. And Fanvil have supported that and suggested this promotion to launch our partnership here in New Zealand. So with that, that brings me to the end of the presentation and we'll open the floor for questions. So if you've got any questions, please feel free to throw those into the chat. We really want to thank everybody for your attendance today, and I have managed to try and keep it to my bite size of 20 minutes, so I'm very impressed by that. But yeah, feel free to throw any questions, and Yoyo, I'm not sure if you had any other comments that you'd like to add. Okay, so Graham, what is the time frame for the Wi-Fi phones getting full 3CX support? Do you mean the Wi-Fi phones running as a router phone on Wi-Fi? Is that what you're meaning, Graham? No? Okay, not understanding your question then, Graham, but feel free to drop me an email and I will try and untangle that for you. Sorry, you're talking about the portable Wi-Fi phones? I think I've got you now. Sorry, I was missing the point there. So that's coming very, very soon. It's not far away is the last update that I had. So it will be coming very soon. We have manually configured it ourselves. I have been talking to Fanvil about coming up with a template if it was going to be too far away, but it's really just some dotting of the I's and crossing of the T's before that becomes an interop model, so it's not too far away at all. Do Fanvil have a loud ringer paging unit? Yes, there is a paging unit, Trevor. I'll have to check the wattage of it, but I will come back to you on that wattage. Just making a note for that. It will come through on my report, but I'll make sure that I do that, Trevor. What else have we got in here? Sorry, there's a few questions flooding in. Can FDMS work with a 3CX registered phone? The FDMS, Ian, would give you oversight of the units and allow you to update firmware as you need to, just remembering that the firmware needs to be the 3CX approved version, etc. So for 3CX partners, the device management systems from multiple vendors can kind of just be used more as a knowing what is available at each site kind of scenario, because your provisioning is done, of course, from 3CX with the auto provisioning. What accessories do the phones come with? Mark, I'll send you some information on what's included in the boxes with them, that type of thing. So, you know, different models have different bits added in. So I think your query is really more about, do they come with power supplies or do they not? And I'll send you that information, and I'll try and remember to share that after the webinar for everybody to see as well. I can tell you that the Fanvil products are quite aggressively priced, and they meet some really good price points for customers with features. Think about units and whether they have, and we can share data sheets and that kind of stuff, is, you know, do you want Wi-Fi on board? Do you want Bluetooth on board? Are you going to use it with a headset? You need to think about those general things when you're talking about hardware that we talk about with any brand, is like what's on board and what do you need. So a number of the Fanvil units do have Wi-Fi on board and Bluetooth on board, but not all of them. So it depends on your use case scenario and where you want it to fit for your customer. So yeah, I'll update you on that as well. Okay, just waiting to see. I'm just checking I haven't missed any questions. No. If there's any more questions. Is 3CX going to support Wi-Fi on the desk phones and still support SBC as well? It's a good question, Graham. That actually came up in a conversation just today. I'm going to do some testing and I'm going to reach out and find out what the answer to that question is. So I will update you on that. I'll come back to you on that one, Graham. Door phones compatible with 3CX? Yes, many of the models are interoped with 3CX, Paul, so they are tested and listed. So many of those you know, facility access solutions are no problem whatsoever. So Fanvil has partnered very closely with 3CX, hence why they have a large number of units that have been interoped already. All right, looks like the flood of questions is slowing down. But if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me directly or use the uc@softsol.co.nz email address, and Karen will be able to help you with some of those questions as well. But I really want to thank Karen for being here. She hasn't been bombarded with too many technical issues that she's needed to answer. So thanks for joining us today, Karen, and a very special thanks to Yoyo from Fanvil for joining us. It's quite early in the morning where she is, so she was in early to make sure that we were all connected, and we did a test run prior to this webinar. Don't know if you've got any final things you'd like to add, Yoyo?
Yeah, so far so great.
Awesome. So we will thank everybody for their attendance, and if you've got any questions, please do reach out to us. And next time Yoyo's in town, if you're keen to catch up with her, just let me know and I'll keep that in the back of my mind so that we can have a chat with her when she's next back in New Zealand as well. So thank you everybody for your attendance and your time today, and we will talk to you all again soon.